This photo is full of symbolism as a citizen at Kamala Harris's election night gathering gazes at a new American political landscape.
Shedrick Pelt took this photo for the Washington Post. It shows an attendee holding a U.S. flag after the end of the election night rally for Kamala Harris at Howard University in Washington. The night started off with a celebratory atmosphere, with the university's gospel choir performing inspirational songs and members of black fraternities and sororities dancing to music from the university's band. However, the mood shifted dramatically as election results showed Trump winning key battleground states. Harris decided not to appear in favor of a speech at Howard's The Yard to a more somber gathering the next day.
This is such a thoughtful portrait of this individual Black woman, and I'm really struck by the expression on her face. She's not smiling, but she's not showing much other emotion either. Instead, there appears to be a kind of visual exchange of mutual regard between her and the photographer.
I find her expression quite complex. At the same time, I see pain and sadness, a weariness, but also strength, resolve, and determination.
A lot of the other photos from the night at Howard emphasize the emotion on the faces of individual rally goers, joy and happiness, and then dramatic sorrow. But this portrait is really different from those images, many of which are of much younger people, maybe college-age students, young folks in their 20s. This woman appears a little bit older than that. And so perhaps that expression is connected to the fact that she has a bit more life experience, and that might give her a bit of a different perspective on the outcome. I'm also really struck by the role of motion in this portrait. There's the blurry flag that the woman is holding, and then also the blurry white man at the right edge of the frame who appears to be kind of quickly walking by. She is actively waving the flag, and so that suggests to me that she's communicating something about her citizenship and perhaps her sense of her own patriotism.
Just like Trump turned the campaign into a gender war, weaponizing gender politics and manosphere rhetoric, I think the motion aligns with that political swing, the impact of white men on the move, the waving American flag on the left, and the blurred male figure on the right create a dynamic tension that literally sandwiches the woman between symbols of patriarchy and nationalism. It is interesting, though, that the masculine energy and patriotic fervor remain oddly out of focus, like it doesn't sit well with democracy after all, at least not the chauvinist kind.
There's other elements of the photo that I think are worth exploring as well. Most obviously the fence, which seems to pin the woman behind it, as if to say there's a barrier to electing a woman president, especially perhaps a Black woman president. Yet, I note that she's walked right up to the fence and she's waving that flag. And so I think that also connects to the power of Black women's political engagement. My eyes then also wander around the background a little bit, and the couple appears to be a man and a woman who are hugging right underneath the flag in the background. They seem to be kind of performing that emotion that we saw a lot in other images from that evening, but that is largely absent, I think, from the face of the woman in the foreground. On the other side of her, toward the right side of the image, there appears to be a couple of people having a conversation facing each other in chairs. And I find this really interesting as well. It's almost like they're involved pretty deeply in a discussion or deliberation.
I would say the split between hugging and talking parallels the reaction many are having to Trump's victory. On the internets, at least, the Democrats are counseling each other to avoid getting depressed and to keep their wits about them.